Welcome to Justice Diaries, a record of truth, justice, and survival. In a system where justice can be delayed, denied, or served, these diaries document the untold stories, the unheard voices, and the unhealed wounds. Each entry examines the human cost behind legal processes, exposing the gaps, the delays, the violations, and the resilience of those who refuse to be forgotten. Kwa Binzaro, the newly accused linked to the Shakahola outstation. On Friday, 14th November 2025, the Shakahola story widened again. And in this hearing opened with a bombshell. And this was in the courtroom of Malindi Principal Magistrate Joy Wesonga.
We pray for your forgiveness if we are repeating ourselves as we did in the previous application. We indicated that the bodies were buried 1 foot deep and they were naked. And it has been explained by the experts that that hastened the speed of decomposition. My lady made an order for certain witnesses to be taken into witness protection. And those witnesses have narrated instructions that were given by Mackenzie from prison, which they had been given to the respondents, where Mackenzie was simply picking the testimony of the government chemist as he testified in the courts in Mombasa and in Shanzu, and was instructing them that if this is what the government chemist has done, and this is the challenges he's having together with the pathologist to identify the bodies, then do it this way so that you ensure that these bodies are never identified. So that's why we say it was deliberate on their part.
The news is Paul Mackenzie is expected to face fresh charges. Investigators say newly uncovered communication links between Mackenzie and the 4 Kwa Binzaro accused, combined with movement between both sides, justify a new round of prosecutions. Kwa Binzaro now sits at the center of what investigators describe as the extended Shakahola network. The big question, or the big mystery. Kwa Binzaro reports 34 bodies, 32 were exhumed and had been there for a while, but 2 were after the exposé. Skeletal remains of children. Investigators claim they had collected 102 body parts. Activists were seen on clips when this story broke, and they were asking why the remains of what seems to be the first victims of Shakahola were left to hyenas, instead of giving people their dignity even in death. And so the big question is, were these victims following faith or being led to their deaths? Was this fasting or murder disguised as devotion? As remains of children continue to be recovered and several accused stand in court without their own children accounted for, we must confront whether this was ever about belief at all. Now let's examine the criminal method and not faith. Imagine evidence shows that what happened in Shakahola and now Kwa Binzaro, the Shakahola outstation, was not spiritual obedience. It was criminal method. Investigators say perpetrators studied government chemist reports from earlier cases, the ongoing cases in Mombasa courts. They learned decomposition timelines and adapted their burial patterns. Victims were allegedly buried naked, in shallow graves to accelerate decomposition, to erase fibers, to distort timelines, to defeat forensics. This was not fasting. This was engineering of decomposition, trying to beat the justice system. Assistant Director of Public Prosecutions, Jami Yamina, asked for 90 additional days of custody. Investigators from the DCI, forensic teams, and the Kenya Wildlife Service need more time to examine expanding Kwa Binzaro crime scene.
But which also brings me to the last point I would like to make, being that we have the intention of charging Mackenzie together with the 4 present in court and others not present in court. This is because call data evidence has already corroborated the witnesses who have been taken into protection regarding the days he calls, the instructions he gave, the messages he sent, their movements. There is coordination from within the prison at Shimolatewa. And therefore, Kwa Binzaro is simply a continuation of Shakahola. We know this because the witness who's taken into witness protection was in Shakahola but left with his wife and children. He was listed as a witness in the ongoing cases, but he was reached by Mackenzie from prison and convinced to go and finish the journey. That is fasting to go and meet Jesus. And this is the case for the rest of the people who are missing and believed to have died at Kwa Binzaro. So much that in terms of prosecutorial strategy, we are doing all that we can to close the Mackenzie cases as the year comes to an end. So that by the time we are charging him together with them here, there is as little disruption of the cases and the flow of the cases in Mombasa. And we are also energized to proceed with the cases against Mr. Mackenzie here in court.
Now let's look at the dock lineup. The 4 accused stood aligned from right to left. Charlene Tamba Anido, Thomas Mukonwe, James Kahindi Kazungu Garama. Now Charlene Tamba Anido seems to be wearing a signature monkey purse with the straps sinking into her shoulders. She's from Vihiga County, and allegations are that she went into hiding after the Kwa Binzaro expose, but was later arrested in Mombasa. Once known as a prophetess, and why she's being called the leader of his new killing spree, she was pregnant when she first moved to Kilifi, but locals say they never saw the baby. Charlene is an interesting character. She's 30 years of age, and Justice Diaries will dig deeper to get her background information. But in court, Charlene Tamba Anido's expressions were striking. She shifted between smirks, raised eyebrows, quick laughs, and sudden composure wherever cameras turned on her. At moments, she glanced at her co-accused as if sharing an inside joke. To observers, and likely to behavior scientists, her demeanor suggests someone either mocking the process or convinced she knows something the courtroom does not. Her attitude, however, between defiance and disbelief at the charges against her. Now, let's profile Thomas Mukonwe. Reports say that while he was in Kwa Binzaro, he had 3 wives. Now, his demeanor is calm and unexpectedly assertive. Because when the public prosecutor was talking about their being taken care of, he started to make some expressions. But then he challenged the 90-day requests for detention. And he says, why not 45? And then later he talks about how his clothes are laced with lice.
Shukuru kupata nafasi hii na nini. Nimetamani sana patane angalau tuongee vile tunaongea ni afya. Vile imezungumziwa na kwangu mimi ningeomba ya kwamba tupunguzie kama ni nusu 45 ikiwa imeenda sana. Halafu ile hali ya mwenzako umesema si vile nzuri vile ndugu yetu anasema pale ya kwamba tuko na afya njema ama tunakula vizuri, ndio haja kubangaiza tu omba tu kama maskini. Kama askari wa kule wana tatizo sana kwa hali ya omba. Chawa inatuua pale hata kuliko hiyo fasting inayosema. Chawa ndio inakufastisha zaidi. Hii imejaa chawa. Huo ni ukweli wa mambo. Laiti ningekuja huko mkaionea nini wenyewe sehemu ambayo tunakaa. Ushuhudie jumba lenyewe vile inavyokaa. Hivyo kwa ufupi ni kwamba hakuna pahali ambapo hakuna negotiation. Watu zungumza, watu bageni, hii mali yangu inauza kiasi fulani. Unafika mahali angalau mnapunguziana huyu. Badiana. Punguzie hizo masiku ndio bageni ni inazungumzia. Wakati ule wa kwanza tulijaribu bageni hamkutusikiza. Wa pili hamkutusikiza. Wa tatu vile. Jamani, hata sasa sisi ni wanadamu, tunaweza hata kusikilizana.
Tunaelewa hiyo yote, lakini huwezi anza kufanya bageni kama hamtachana. Hayo ni mtamwambia kiongozi wa mashtaka akusomee mashtaka ndio alafu tunaelewa. Sasa James
pia mheshimiwa langu ni ile kuomba muda kumbusha
hiyo mlango naona tunaweza sasa.
James Kahindi Kazungu, the fair-skinned, seemingly young man next to him, is fair-skinned and silent. He did not speak once. He had a distant gaze linked to logistical movements between Shakahola and Kwa Binzaro, and some background information says that he might have lost his family at the original Shakahola. Justice Diary first documented Kahindi Kazungu Garama on 7th March 2024 outside the Malindi High Court during a plea hearing involving Paul Mackenzie and multiple co-accused. Acting on investigative instinct, standard practice when covering emerging cases, a photograph of Kahindi was taken among the individuals present outside the court. Now, these were either family, spectators, or former followers of Mackenzie. At that time, he appeared noticeably lean, with reduced facial fullness and a generally subdued physical posture. During the initial Kwa Binzaro arraignment of Kahindi in court a few months ago, Kahindi's physical presentation was markedly different. He appeared fuller, his facial features more rounded, and his overall demeanor more relaxed, including moments of smiling. We can speculate maybe better nourishment or improved living condition. The verdict is yours. Now, at the most recent appearance on 14th of November 2025, Kahindi's physical condition had shifted again. He appeared visibly thinner, showed signs of physical strain, and raised concern in court about insufficient food, harsh condition, and significant weight loss. His posture and vocal strength were consistent with this claim. In fact, his voice was shaky. In conclusion, the Kwa Binzaro was a Shakahola outstation. It was never a separate spiritual enclave. It was part of the same machinery of control, with a hierarchy of who gets to live and when others die, especially children who are at the mercy of a parental figure. We look forward to bringing more on these accused persons. We just want to thank you for engaging with this episode. For each account narrated, the verdict is yours. As we continue to document truth, accountability, and the unhealed wounds left behind, kindly follow, subscribe, share, and keep an eye out for the next episode of Justice Diaries. In line with community guidelines, please feel free to share your reflections, insights, and feedback in the comments section. Your voice helps strengthen this work and keep the conversations alive. As always, we move forward with one hope, that justice will be served far more than it will be delayed or denied. Justice Diaries, yours truly. Thank you.